Welcome to your new wrestling obsession. This is Off the Mat, the premier pro wrestling show, the can't miss pro wrestling show, the pro wrestling show with the hottest of hot takes that we know every WWE corporate head is looking at in their little burners accounts. Hope you guys are having a great week. Listen, we are going to start hot this week because I think each and every one of us here have been absolutely itching to talk about the horrendous bastardization atrocity that was last Friday night's SmackDown. And we're going to start off with a new segment we call The Shoot, where we just go off the rails right off the bat and start ranting about something that is crazy and important. And of course, I'm talking about last Friday's SmackDown. Boys, the phone number, the man on the phone, the man on the other end who is inspiring the Viper.
Now, listen.
Of all the people out there, Kevin Owens, fucking his dad, Cowboy Bob Orton, anybody it could have been. Who was it? Pat fucking McAfee.
Now, let me ask you a question. When is Pat McAfee a royal family? When the freaking
never, he's not.
So when Randy Orton says, he goes, "You think this is so and so the royal family?" So you think about royal family, that could be. Now, mind you, I'm going to go ahead. You know, that was one of the worst.
Wow.
Freaking, reveals that transpired. SmackDown was one of the worst shows.
Oh my God, it was horrible.
I think there was one highlight, and I got to freaking think of what the highlight was because it kind of like really was it atrocious.
It might have been one of the worst professional wrestling shows ever in the history of SmackDown.
There
you go.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how that happened. And then,
Thank you, Skirty.
That happened, and then they had Cody come out to shoot off the breeze, a promo right off the bat, just a promo, a real promo, no story backing, no nothing, just off the shoot, just to put something out there. And give it a that. When you let Cody cook, he cooks. It was a good promo. That was a good promo after he got his ass whipped by freaking McAfee.
But it was clear that it was marching orders by Triple H, where Triple H was like, I don't like this shit, because it came out that everyone wanted to point their fingers right off the bat at Triple H.
It wasn't Triple H.
It wasn't Triple H. It came out later that it was Ari Emanuel and TKO doing that. Ari Emanuel subsequently is also responsible for last year's terrible booking at WrestleMania, where he inserted The Rock because tickets weren't selling, and The Rock decided to take his ball and go home. Listen, I love Pat McAfee. I'm a frequent viewer of the Pat McAfee show. I love what he does there. He is one of us. He started from the bottom as far as this type of media goes, and now he's at the tippity top. He's what everyone strives to be. But this ain't it. There's no connection here. There's no story. He came out and he said, I gave a non-scripted promo. Bullshit. That was scripted.
All right,
that was completely scripted.
It was scripted. And when he came out, how he stood there, had the sunglasses and the hesitation of kicking Cody in the balls. Just the way it was. The same thing like the week before, like on Monday night when Stephanie came out, the hesitation of her smacking him. Did you see, like, usually back in the day, they shoot and they do what they got to do. It's like you sit there for like 1, 2, 3, and then it's like, but they were still cheering, dude. They were still cheering.
And why are we doing this in St. Louis? Randy's hometown. You want the crowd to boo him. What fucking genius was like, hey, let's do this in St. Louis where Randy's going to get cheered. He's supposed to be the heel in this angle. We want him to get cheered, or we want him to get booed, but we're going to do it in St. Louis. He's not going to get booed in St. Louis.
No, he's not.
He didn't even get booed when they came out and tried to do the typical sorry ass heel promo when McAfee just walks out and looks like he took LA Knight's sunglasses off his head before he came out of Gorilla, and then starts cutting promos on how shitty the sports team are in St. Louis. Like, that's like low hanging fruit for a heel. Is, well, let's just make fun of the local sports teams.
So you see, they could have did it right if you're right. If it wasn't in St. Louis, Randy's hometown, of course they're going to cheer for Randy.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have did it someplace else, see. But like I was saying before we started, there's a story there, and I think they are too stupid to see.
Well, just a second. We'll get into that because
I have one quick question.
Go ahead, Stick.
And I'll make it really quick. How many times does Cody Rhodes have to get kicked in the nuts before we find out he can't have kids anymore?
Well, he's got two of them.
This guy's getting kicked in the nuts left and right. Every time you turn around, someone's kicking him in the nuts.
John Cena,
armbar in his nuts. Yeah,
no, come on.
Yeah,
dude. But like
the guy must have a target on his.
Back to Dom's
groin.
point, it was so telegraphed. Cody like stands there, fucking man spreading, just waiting to be kicked. It's like
right here,
yeah,
right in this region.
Like,
you
got WWE's Golden Boy. Why does professional wrestling need to be saved from the last real professional wrestler? Him and Punk are like the last two real professional wrestlers from a bygone era. Why does the business need to be saved from them? Why does the business need to be saved from Cody Rhodes? Like literally the epitome of the business. His dad is Dusty. Like, you don't get more.
Yeah, they're not
royal than that. Yeah, WWE. Yeah, professional wrestling has more than one royal family, but it would have made sense, dude. Like, we are great creatives here, I think, where we come up with stuff all the time. Given what happened on SmackDown on Friday, let's put our off the mats minds together. And how would we fix this? How would, because there's rumors out there that WWE is looking to pivot now because of all the fan outrage and backlash. How do we fix it? What do you guys think would fix this? Because I have ideas.
Look, let me tell you something. We're 2 weeks away, or actually a week away now from WrestleMania. Next week.
Yeah.
Next weekend.
Yeah, next week.
And now all of a sudden they got to pivot. This should have been a month ago, 2 months ago, the pivot. Look, when you have celebrities, Jelly Roll, I Show Speed,
way too many this year.
You're freaking Little Yachty, freaking the list goes on. And you have all those dudes inserted into the matches where you take away from people that are not even in the card. Look, I got to talk about this now because it really bugs the shit out of me. Tiffany Stratton, no match on the card. Julia, no match on the card.
Correct, Dub.
Solo Sikoa, 4 years in a row has never embedded WrestleMania, left them off the card. Mm-hmm. How are you taking these wrestlers and not having them inserted in these friggin' matches? Because you're putting celebrities in their spot, which I understand. And I understand WrestleMania, it's sports entertainment. You want to have the celebrities. But why does the celebrities have to be in the spotlight of a wrestler, a professional wrestler that should be in that part? You can have a Jelly Roll on the outside interfering to help a wrestler fight somebody. You're taking away all these spots. And look,
the only reason I Show Speed is there is to make sure LA Knight gets in WrestleMania. Yeah, because otherwise LA Knight would not be in the WrestleMania.
How is freaking LA Knight not getting into a freaking match automatically? Fucking LA Knight.
Right.
And that's the problem. Dude, do you know that this week Royce Keys is getting his freaking SmackDown debut? Why? He made an appearance in freaking Royal Rumble and then they shut him down. He should have been inserted in a freaking match. And he was supposed to go in WrestleMania with Jelly Roll to fight Kit Williams, and the freaking I think it was the Miz that they were gonna fight.
Miz, yeah.
Yeah. But now Jelly Roll's out. Maybe you put Royce Keys in his spot to fight a wrestler to bring him into the spotlight. This is the thing. I don't understand. Yep. Corporate thinks that if you insert certain things, it's gonna bring more people. All right, I Show Speed. I Show Speed has a huge fan following. He has millions of viewers on Instagram, YouTube, and all that stuff like that. And I understand you want that young generation. That's what they want. But come on, Travis Scott, Lil Yachty. You trying to get other demographics in these watching these matches, but stop with putting these celebrities in the places of wrestlers that should be in there. Like I said, there's no reason why Julia should be. She's the freaking goddamn U.S. champion. Yep. She should be in a match in WrestleMania.
Yeah, against Io Sky, but they're not going to do. They're holding off announcing Io Sky versus Asuka because there's a good possibility that due to her ankle injury, the Bella Twins are not in that tag team match. Exactly. So they're going to replace the Bella Twins with the Kabuki Warriors. So they're holding off Io Sky and Asuka, and under the possibility that Nikki Bella can't go. Why not just remove Nikki Bella and Brie from that match and not have it be four tag teams and give me Julia versus Io Sky for the United States Championship? Why do we have to get Becky versus AJ Lee 6, but we can't get Io Sky versus
what about
1?
Tiffany Stratton? You could have had Tiffany Stratton.
We just watched that. I don't need to see Tiffany Stratton fight her again. I'm not high on Tiffany Stratton.
I know. And after the last match he had with her, dude, that it was kind of like, because apparently they said that her focus is not on wrestling as much as she wants to. She's looking away. She wants to be an actress now. She wants to start doing things. So I don't even know what's going on. But Julia should be in WrestleMania. She should be fighting. They should have a 5-woman friggin' ladder match. They should have something that somebody can win. Make it interesting. And I don't understand why. It just boggles my mind on the shit creative that's going on. And you know what? Stop, everybody out there, stop blaming Triple H. You got to blame TKO. You got to blame the head of corporate of TKO. I think it's equal blame,
but we'll get to that when we go over some of our other topics. Right now, I want to specifically focus in on, before we get to our the 10 count, focus on how would we fix the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton situation right now? How could WWE pivot out of the Pat McAfee stuff? Because right now, I think it would have made more sense to have nobody on the other end of the phone, that it was actually just the voices in Randy's head that he was hearing that were telling him that he needed to do something. That would make more sense than Pat McAfee. There's no story there. Pat McAfee has no connection to Randy Orton whatsoever.
Look, so the problem is Pat McAfee wasn't supposed to be the person on the other side of the phone.
No, I don't think so.
He wasn't supposed to
be.
Not. Apparently, as much as people would say no, there was one of the outlets out there posted something that Vince McMahon was supposed to be the voice on the other side of the phone. They were going to find some way to bring Vince in. That's why Stephanie came out. But because of the whole friggin' lawsuit thing that's going on, it came clear that there's more allegations and more stuff that came out, they pivoted away from that. But they were going to bring in Vince.
It was a hard pivot
for that. And that was the story. And then they had to pivot to Pat McAfee, which makes no sense. Vince, Pat McAfee. Yes, I know Pat McAfee is popular, and they wanted to bring that. You could have brought in Shane. You could have had Shane come in. You could have had Shane come in and had a storyline with Shane. And really, you could have made that, and there could have been somebody else behind the curtain that a surprise. All right, I know that.
You want to know what it made a lot of fucking sense? Because he was just acquitted of all of his charges.
Yes, I
and
know.
He's going to be in Vegas doing appearances that weekend. You have Ted DiBiase Jr. show up at WrestleMania. Yeah, you don't give us the reveal of who's on the other end of the phone until WrestleMania, and it's Ted DiBiase Jr. that walks out and screws Cody Rhodes over.
And see, that's the thing. I would have had Shane. That's why Shane would have been the focal point, and then you would have had Ted DiBiase Jr. be the other, because they're always so like a 1-2 punch with a surprise that it's not just Shane, it's somebody else. And I would have had that. And you're right. I was thinking about the same. I was thinking about that too. The fact is that since he got acquitted, So that would have made more sense. Would have been the McAfee thing. I think the whole thing with the McAfee thing, they rushed it and shoved it down your throat to a point that McAfee, because McAfee turned around and said that he wasn't coming back. They offered him a big thing of money to come back because he wasn't interested in coming back. So now, we talk about this. Now, as other things go on, I'm going to talk like later on. Let's try to figure out how to fix it. But then I'm going to bring a potential thing that they're sitting on that they have no idea, that I don't think they understand. That could be one of the biggest stories in decades if it's done right.
But now it just makes me feel like Randy loses here. And then at Backlash, we get some sort of tag team match. Randy Orton and Pat McAfee versus Cody Rhodes and
player. Yeah, there's that whole was it a tweet by McAfee where he says if I lose, I'm gonna leave wrestling or something like that.
So look.
Yeah, he said if Randy loses, then he's gonna leave professional wrestling forever, which could also work in our favor because he already said he doesn't want to come back. And maybe it's just a way for WWE to write him off TV, but it still just doesn't make sense. It's the worst booking. We're in WrestleMania season. It should be all hands on deck. And we gave you two. I don't know about the Vince one, but we gave you two options between KO, Ted DiBiase Jr., and just it being the voices in Randy Head. That's already, to me, three better options that make more sense than Pat McAfee.
So I'll interject. I'll try to come up with a way to kind of fix it. And I don't know if it fixes it, but it would work in an angle that I've kind of heard this week. Let me know what you think. Like this week, I've heard that they wanted to do a retirement match with Booker T. So maybe you could work Booker T in, say Booker T puts him up to it or whatever. Maybe he's actually the person behind things, and it gets him a way into a storyline so that he can come in for a retirement match.
Well,
I mean, I would be okay with Booker T. I mean, it doesn't make sense for the story.
Well, we're already off the rails with the story.
I know, but I want to kind of focus it back to making sense for the story, because the story is ultimately, this didn't need Pat McAfee. There was already enough here in this match, just given their history, that it didn't need anything else. It had everything it needed. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, WWE title. That's it.
You know what they should, like, you want to insert people and this and that, which would have been really messed up and made Cody really go off the wall. If they injected Brandy, his wife, into the storyline, that she actually is working with TKO.
Oh, I think she's eaten an RKO before WrestleMania.
I don't understand, but that she's working, like she's actually behind the scenes, with that, and you could have had that storyline to make Cody lose. What I'm saying, it'd be a better story than they doing with friggin' McAfee, that he wants to friggin' bring back the Attitude Era, which is kind of fucking funny. He goes, they're 5 foot guys, 5'5" guys in the back. He goes, there's no guys that are standing tall like Randy Orton back there.
Yeah, and what guys is he talking about? What is he watching? Micro Pro Wrestling?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. When he said that, I was like this. I was sketching. I was like, really? What is he talking about? But also, McAfee, they try to say, hey, he's the next Sylvester Stallone. Which I sit there and laugh that they were talking about that. He has a Hollywood look, and the way he came, I think you're right, Double. It'll probably be Cody Rhodes and Jelly Roll versus Pat McAfee and Randy Orton, because now that's the other rumor that they're talking about, is that they're going to interject Jelly Roll into this, and Jelly Roll somehow is going to get involved in it, because Pat McAfee is teasing a big announcement or a big thing tomorrow night on SmackDown, because he's going to be on SmackDown again from San Jose, California. So I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow try to supposed to be happening too.
Interject Jelly Roll into this some way after Jelly Roll already ate an RKO, and we do get Pat McAfee and Randy Orton versus Jelly Roll and Cody Rhodes at Backlash.
You see, and again, that's the thing. Again, celebrities. I admire Jelly Roll for doing what he's doing, but it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Taking a spot away from a dude that could be in there.
Yeah.
And
Listen,
you have all those dudes, guys in the back.
There's guys they're not using in the back that could use a spot.
WrestleMania this year is kind of off the wall of what's going on. They have no freaking clue. The card, look, they had on ESPN. They had they dished out the matches for night 1 and night 2. So the card is set in stone for you, Sticks, for tomorrow or for next week when we do the match card on the winner losers.
Okay.
But when you look at it, it's not, the Obafemi and Brock Lesnar is the match you want to see.
Well, we're gonna get into that.
Hold that thought. But everything else in the card, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually want to see the CM Punk, freaking goddamn Roman Reigns fight. I want to see that more now, more than ever before.
There's
but
not
now,
even, dude. And the crazy part is that they're taking away this Pat McAfee shit with Randy Orton threw such a monkey wrench in everything. Ari Emanuel overstepping and inserting Pat McAfee into this like he did to The Rock last year, which already produced one of the worst WrestleMania main events with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. He's doing it again, and it threw such a monkey wrench in it that Triple H had to go and send the two guys that are untouchable in this company, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, out there to do 2 shoot promos. So not only that is Punk taking away from his own feud to pay attention to Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
And calling Pat McAfee like
McAfee.
No, it's MAGA-fee.
MAGA-fee. Yeah.
And so you have your 2 biggest names that are untouchable going out there to do shoot promos and call out TKO. You forced, and I've seen people saying, "Oh well, Cody Rhodes' promo was scripted. He was supposed to come out." No, he wasn't. I guarantee you, Triple H told him, "You need to go out there and say something and shoot. Speak from the heart." There's no who in their right fucking mind is going to bring up Disco Inferno.
Exactly. Oh, that's another story. Disco Inferno actually reached out and made a comment. Don't bring my name. I'll get your name out my mouth.
Who's gonna throw out there that Disco? It's like Disco Inferno being the third man in the NWO. Like that was a genius line, but at the same time, no one. I guarantee you, pretty much no one on the writing team, circa other than maybe Triple H, even remembers who Disco Inferno was.
Right.
But all right, that's it for the shoot. I think we ran it on the Cody Rhodes Jelly Roll situation enough. Did it for 23 minutes. Let's get into our top rope takes. If you're new here, top rope takes is where we do 5 topics. Each topic gets 2 minutes, and we run down them and give a our quick takes on them. And once the 2 minutes is up, I'll allow a little bit of overtime, but we're gonna go on after that. We're gonna start with TKO and WWE. There's clearly, like we were just talking about, a power shift or power struggle at play here, I should say. How do we feel about TKO interjecting themselves in WWE business? Because I think to start, we were kind of worried about that. And then for the most part, they were out of it until The Rock tried to take Cody. And at that time, I think Ari Emanuel did the right thing because I feel like he interjected there and was like the real driving force between Cody getting his spot back. But now 2 years in a row, we've had Ari Emanuel interject talent that he feels like is going to elevate the WrestleMania card, and it's just not working.
Yeah, the answer to this question is right in front of your face. Why did they do it last year, and why are they doing it this year? Poor ticket sales. So that they feel like they once you start hitting them in the pocket, remember you always talk about if you want to get to someone who's rich, you hit them in the pocket.
Yep.
So they're not making the money that they think they should from these ticket sales. Ticket sales are low. They're only sold 40,000 seats per night. You got to do something. Oh, let's put The Rock in there. Rock will sell tickets. Rock did sell a few tickets, but not all. And this year, maybe not The Rock.
Look.
Not that Pat McAfee is gonna sell any freaking tickets, but they're trying to spice something up, and they're cooking, and their cooking tastes like shit, quite frankly.
2 years in a row, you're right, bum ticket sales that they're trying to get. Now, say if they get it right this time around. Just hear me out 1 second. They get it right this time around for doing it a second time, and it works out. The Rock is still one of the biggest names out there. Even though last year turned out to be a shit show, The Rock coming out will definitely get a pop. There'll be some boos in there, this and that, but there'll definitely be a pop. Because now you could have The Rock not only interfere in the Cody and Randy match, you could have him interfere in the CM Punk and freaking Roman Reigns match, because it's all connected. The two main events are connected, intertwining with TKO and WWE. But this is what I'm trying to say before. The story that they can have, that if they're freaking smart, TKO, Team TKO versus Team WWE Survivor Series 2026. Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, The Rock, and two other people as part of the corporate line. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and a couple other people to fight TKO. So at the end of the day, there's a story right there that actually could work if they do it right. Even though it's all shit right now, if they pick up the pieces and see what they have, and you get somebody in creative that can actually turn this and tweak this and make this something big, this could be a powerhouse story throughout the year going to Survivor Series. And that could be something big if they do it right. Who's to say? But like I said, The Rock is the big corporate honcho from TKO. He could fit in both stories right now. There's two stories going on, and both are intertwined into one situation. You can see. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, you
could work that angle, sure. I don't.
Listen, I think my take on it is that TKO doesn't really get involved, at least that I know of, that much with UFC. TKO needs to do the same thing. TKO has nothing but effectively priced the average WWE fan that actually watches and enjoys the product out of tickets. That's why they have to rely so much on celebrities and these big name guests, because that's who can afford these tickets. It's like Punk's promo said on Monday. They need to lower the ticket. Punk McAfee took mad shots at Punk, basically saying that if he was as big a star as he thinks he is, they wouldn't need Pat McAfee's help to sell WrestleMania tickets. That clearly him versus Roman Reigns aren't big enough to sell tickets on their own. And as the main event of WrestleMania, that should piss you off, and rightfully so. It pissed Punk off. So I think TKO needs to step back, let Hunter, let WWE do their thing, not interject, stay out of it, lower ticket prices, and you wouldn't have trouble selling out arenas if the average fan can afford to go. And from what I've seen, they've already kind of lowered ticket prices, and they're almost sold out for night 2. Night 1 is still struggling, but night 2 is the better card yet again. There's no. I'm
trying to say you could bring Shane into this storyline, because Shane is still in limbo. We don't know what Shane's doing as part of. Remember, they had the corporation back in the Attitude Era, and they had that angle back then. And they usually rehash certain storylines and certain things. You could take that corporation angle and put it to something new and make a new corporation, and make it you can make it a fun ride if they do it right. And you know what? Like I said, at the end of the day, we're talking about this. Who's to say that TKO is with creative and they're making the story happen right before our eyes, and we're here getting all mad about things, and it's all part of the master plan of what they're doing?
Because I don't think it would be Pat McAfee if that was the case.
It wasn't supposed to be Pat McAfee. I told you it was supposed to be Vince, and it didn't happen.
Come up with someone better then.
Yeah.
Listen.
Use someone better.
Even if it was supposed to be Vince, use someone better than Pat McAfee. I love Pat McAfee. Don't get me wrong. I love you, Pat, but that just it ain't working for me. I think Pat's great in the ring too. He took to it as well as probably Logan
Bischoff,
Paul.
Could be.
Bischoff would be great too. Bischoff would be a good one too. Bring back Vince Russo. How crazy would that be? You know, like I know he's booking the stuff
Mark
for
Henry
Juggalo wrestling, but
let Mark Henry cook, man. Mark Henry wants to come out of retirement. Have him part of the whole story. Come in and I don't know, be part of the corporate line. But all right, let's go.
Moving on. WWE talent is worried that Pat McAfee situation will set a precedent for more TKO meddling. We already continued on there. We've already seen it happen with The Rock last year, which turned out that The Rock took his ball and went home when things didn't go his way. So they had to rely on Travis Scott, which made no sense on the Cena heel turn. And now we get the next Sylvester Stallone, which I mean, that's a fucking.
I know. That's funny.
I don't. As far as my knowledge goes, Pat McAfee's never wrote in a movie. He's never executive produced anything.
Look at the picture. Look at his face. Look, he's like,
yeah. Like I don't know, but
I don't know.
2 minutes on the clock. Pat McAfee, do you think this is going to set a precedent for more TKO meddling, or do you think with the fan backlash, it's going to kind of show TKO that, okay, maybe we need to back the fuck off?
Yeah, I actually think so. I think it's like I said, if the storyline, if they knew the storyline that they possibly have, if they do it right, it could be something big. This is building up to something. The corporation versus WWE. It's basically, like I told you, if they do that, you have a Survivor Series 2026.
Right.
You know, hey, look.
The sad thing about that, though, Dom, is I don't think WWE creative is even smart enough to think of that on their own.
I know.
Their WrestleMania card up and down just shows how much of a shit show and shambles this creative team is in.
You know, this is either going to set the precedence to a point where after WrestleMania, the whole creative team is gone. There might be a lot of firings.
He's not. He's Ruthless Aggression era. I don't consider Randy Orton from Attitude Era either. He's
not.
Ruthless Aggression era.
Because wasn't Evolution in the Ruthless Aggression era? Yes, Evolution was in the Ruthless.
Yeah, like 2003, right? 2008.
He wasn't. And that makes me laugh because.
Because right now we're in the Ruthless Depression era. Because that's what watching WWE product is. It's depressing.
It's funny.
The Great Depression.
Pat McAfee is saying that Randy Orton was in the Attitude Era. He wasn't in the Attitude Era. That's the whole thing.
But, no, he's saying that we need to get back to the Attitude Era status where WWE gets away from the TV 14.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Or the PG, and to go back to more TV 14. I agree with that. It's on Netflix, man. Like, you want to do the first hour for PG? Fine, cool. Give me the second hour TV 14, or like we used to have back in the day with Raw. Give me that. That's fantastic. I think if you can get a good mix of Ruthless Aggression and Attitude Era and find that synergy, it's going to pop, and WWE is going to be firing on all cylinders. Because what we're getting right now is just it feels like Vince is still in charge. It feels like Vince is still behind the scenes telling Hunter, hey, do this, do this, do this. Because it feels like a very Vince McMahon WWE still with the way things are going. It really feels like we're back to where Vince was changing the card 5 minutes before showtime, or changing things 5 minutes before showtime.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. And now that TKO is meddling, so not only before what it was Vince was just like the final say. Now you've got shareholders, you got TKO that can overrule anything Hunter wants to do. So really, he's not even in control of creative. If TKO can come over, if Ari Shaffir can come in and over his head, or sorry, Ari Emanuel, I'm thinking of Mina Shaffir. If Ari Emanuel can come in over Hunter's head and be like, nope, we're inserting Pat McAfee into this storyline and you're going to figure it out, it hurts the product. It makes no sense. It's spitting in the face and really showing that the fan who's here dedicating their time to watching this doesn't matter. You're a dollar sign to them.
Yep.
I agree.
Not wrong.
Security Cat said the same thing. TKO is such a natural heel. They just have to ride it. Yeah. At this point, yeah. At this point, if they're not listening to this in one of their burner accounts, because Triple H likes to say, hey, listen, I don't pay attention to the sound off on social media. I don't pay attention to that shit. Yeah, right. I guarantee they got people they pay on their payroll with burner accounts to sit in streams on shows on the IWC. Like, I don't want to say ours because we're not that big. I don't want to, but like, I'm not talking about these corporate ass kissers either that you see all over the place. But I'm talking like, people like, I don't even want to go Van Vliet, but like JD from New York or some of these other guys out there, Solid Monster, there's other IWC members that have shows that talk about this shit. And that they're in those chats listening. And you pretty much have Triple H, like I was saying that, oh, well, I don't pay attention to that. Bullshit. Pat McAfee is literally the embodiment of what the IWC has been saying. Like, he's going out there playing that character.
Yep.
Like, he's playing the character that's essentially the IWC backlash of WWE in human form.
Yep.
So you can't tell me that they don't listen to this shit and they don't have people on the payroll that listen to this shit to get ideas and to gauge what people are saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, all right. WWE WrestleMania Vegas. Is WrestleMania 42 over-delivering or under-booking? We did get the WrestleMania card, like Dom so elegantly alluded to a little earlier. We got our full night WrestleMania cards here. And night one, we found out we're getting 2 matches. The first hour will be live Saturday night on ESPN2. Which don't even get me started on that, because not only do they want you to spend $29.99 for their fucking ESPN app to watch the pay-per-view, the first hour of it is on their ESPN cable television. Why not just Go ahead.
I think night one is on ESPN and night 2 is on ESPN.
Other way around.
Is it the other way around?
The other way around. Night 1, the first hour is on ESPN2. Night 2, the first hour is on ESPN.
Okay.
So for night 1, your ESPN2 matches are the unsanctioned match of Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu, and the 6-man tag match, the Usos and LA Knight versus The Vision and I Show Speed. And then we switch over to Gunther versus Seth Rollins, which makes no sense, especially when we find out that
I'm going to tell you it does make sense. I'm going to tell you why it makes sense now. There's something behind it. If you caught on Raw with him and the Gunther and
he wants to try. He wants to try and make it to where he gets to retire Brock Lesnar.
Yes, and that's the big story.
And that's hog shit that they just wrote in, especially when you find out that the original plan was Seth versus Braun Breaker, and apparently, according to PW Insider, Braun Breaker's cleared. He is cleared to compete. He got cleared last week.
So Gunther saying that?
We found out on Raw that Rey Mysterio's cleared. But it was that Rey Mysterio doesn't want to retire yet. He wants Dominic to retire him.
Yes.
So that's why Rey Mysterio isn't fighting Gunther, and we're getting Gunther versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah, so
we're getting AJ Lee, Becky Lynch, the Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way match, the Women's World Champion of Stephanie Vakir and Liv Morgan, and then, of course, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes for that title, which I don't understand why that match is night 1. That should be night 2. That is your headlining championship. That should be the closer of your show. But I actually think there's another match that should be the closure of the show instead of the opener. Your night 2 match. And here's where I get mad. What is the one freaking match that across the board everyone's excited about, everyone's looking forward to?
The Oba family, Brock Lesnar.
Exactly. Why is that match opening night 2 on ESPN? Why is that not co-main eventing night 2? Why is that match opening night 1? But we'll get there. We'll get there in a minute. That's my next one. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I'm going to tell you why.
Hold on. Just hold that thought, Dom, because we'll talk about that in a minute. So, because it's our next topic after this one. So I'm going to start the timer. Your opinions. WrestleMania 42. Are we over-delivering or underbooked?
Underbooking. It's not over-delivering at all. Because you got people that, like I said in the back, Freaking Julia. Freaking
About it. That's about it. So Brock can go home.
U.S. champion Julia
I got a plane to catch.
should be in one of those match cards. There should be like a five-way women match for the U.S. Championship. There's not. You're struggling. Now you have B-Fab. You have B-Fab. You have Mutin with Jay Cargill, and that's going to be she's going to be fighting Rhea Ripley, and have them over there, and they could be in part of the IC match. Now you're bringing in Io Sky, the Kabuki Warriors. You're going to have all these things that you're changing around. There should be and I told you throughout the year, what have I said about these huge pay-per-views? Every championship should be on the damn show. How do you not have the U.S. Championship on the show? You have the Intercontinental Champion.
How do you not have the women's? How do you not have the either men's tag team championships on the line on the show?
That's another thing too. You have you get two. So that makes no sense.
There's going to be another match. I feel like added to night 2.
It's got to be.
Yeah,
it's going to be a pretty big match
because there's 7 on night 1 and only 6 on night 2.
Yeah, so you probably find out Monday. Monday, it'll probably be another.
Well, you've got 1 more Raw and 2 SmackDowns. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be either Io Sky versus Asuka, or potentially Julia will get a spot on the show.
Yeah.
But it's they've ruined and when we say that creative is in trouble.
What's up, Daniela?
Why are we putting Sami Zayn? Why did we put that title on Sami Zayn with everything that
and you know what
Melo did for that title over the last couple months? Why just give it to Sami Zayn?
And Matt,
Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn didn't need that match that belt.
You had the opportunity on Friday night to make it a freaking 3-way.
Yeah, and they didn't do it.
You had it.
Yeah,
they didn't let it go. But you have fucking young Yachty,
little Yachty, yeah,
in the freaking thing. It's going to be side by side with the Trick Williams. You could have made it interesting and had Carmelo. Carmelo had a freaking goddamn lose the way he did. And other than that, sucks. You wasted an opportunity. People want to see Carmella Hayes freaking be in that match.
Go ahead, Sticks. You didn't really get to talk, so I'll give you another 2 minutes.
I'm going to say it's underbooking because I think this is just a paint by numbers card. I think it's just a thrown together card.
Basically,
there's no thought. There's no backing to it. A lot of this stuff is just. And we've been talking about it the last year. Every 2 weeks or 3 weeks a PLE, and they're just last minute they're throwing together these cards because these two had words, they have a fight in this match, or these 3 don't like each other, throw them in the match real quick because we need to fill up that space. That's a lot of this what it feels like. Even Lesnar Femi feels thrown together because it's like, and we talked about it before, these challenges from the back matches that we had been getting for the longest time. It's just another one of those. It just happens to be Brock Lesnar, and everyone likes Brock Lesnar versus whoever. So it's not my favorite WrestleMania card. Last year wasn't great either, but this one definitely isn't.
Hey, Sticks, let me tell you something. Brock Lesnar still sticking. It's the whole thing. People like Brock Lesnar.
That's why I said. It's still Brock Lesnar, but it's still, it's like, we need something for him to do. Oh, wait, we can call up Boba Femi. He's a big guy. We don't have Braun Strowman anymore. We don't have any of these other big guys, but this guy's big. Call him up, and we'll put him up against
they have 7
Brock
people
Lesnar.
First appearances at WrestleMania this year. 7 people who came up is their first WrestleMania. Now, like I said, Solo Sikoa. How do you keep him off the card?
Because he's boring.
Yeah,
I know,
He's
but
boring.
Oh, but you got to you got to bring back his personality he had in NXT. He was funny in NXT. You know,
The MFTs are boring. Their feud. I'm so glad their feud with the Wyatts is done.
It better be done.
And it went out with a whimper.
Yep. Oh, I got it back. Whoop-de-doo.
Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar is going to sell because it's the first time you're getting someone that is close to the same size as Brock Lesnar, that's just as athletic as Brock Lesnar, that is not backing down from Brock Lesnar. You saw it on Monday night at that pull apart brawl where Brock Lesnar threw a chair at Obafemi. Obafemi ate it and got right back up. There was no intimidation. There was no scared. Nothing. Obafemi ate that chair and got right back up and wanted him some more of Brock Lesnar.
And guess what? That's going to be a WrestleMania fight. It's double disqualification when it comes to that.
It's not that match is not happening. Like
double disqualification. It's not going to happen. And that's how you keep Obafemi from losing, because he's the one that's going to take down friggin' Gunther. And it keeps Brock Lesnar from losing because when he faces Gunther at the Survivor Series and gets retired, you need him strong to going into WrestleMania and going into his retirement. So that's the thing. So that match, watch for total chaos to happen. That's why it's opening up that way. And we're talking about the opening up. Why is it opening up? It's opening up because Paul Heyman's going to be there, but Paul Heyman's got to be back later on for the Gunther versus Seth match, because what's going to happen? Braun Breaker's coming. We're going to make Seth final deals. So that's
quit jumping the gun. Quit jumping the gun here. Yeah. Before we move on to our next topic here, listen, the last 2 years we've gotten an extra 2 weeks for WrestleMania. Usually WrestleMania is the beginning of April. This year it's towards the end of April. So last week we got an extra 2 weeks. I think it was like, what was it, the 20th and the 21st last year or something like that. And this year it's the 19th and 20th. Do you feel like the extra 2 weeks of having to book and plan hurts WWE, or do you think it's helped them? Because personally, I think it's hurt them. I think the fact that they get that extra 2 weeks has allowed them to be lazy, and they've been lazy and lethargic between the end of Royal Rumble building this WrestleMania card.
You know, look, you're right, Matt. I actually agree with you that when WrestleManias were put together, they were put together and they had meaning. Boom, put together, and there's your card right there. There's too much,
they worked up to that card. They
exactly.
worked up to have that card.
There's too much overthinking of what to do. And listen, some things are going to be fans are not going to like no matter what you put out. You got to take you got to take the bullet on some of the things. And at the end of the day, that extra 2 weeks, you get a little lackadaisical. You get the freaking goddamn lazy minded to a point where you start. It's like when you go out to dinner, right? And you get the menu, and you're looking at the menu, and you're like, all right, I'm going to get the pasta dish. The waiter takes a long time to come to get your order. You're like, you know what? I don't want the pasta dish. I want this. And then by the time the waiter comes, you're already 5 dishes in of what you wanted, and you're undecisive. That's what's happening with this, because there's too much time that takes place. Yeah. And like I said, this card was put together. The feud sucked. Yeah. They had no time for feuds. You usually feuds. You have certain feuds that happen, and that's your card right there. It shit's all over the place, and that extra 2 weeks doesn't help. And you're right, Matt. It doesn't help.
A lot of these matches are, like you say, they're not feuds. I would consider them loud disagreements. They're not, they're not nothing built up to it. I will say that having the extra 2 weeks kind of helped them because of the injuries that they've had, and maybe gave them time to wait. But it doesn't seem like they waited because they didn't. Rey Mysterio came back, inserted him, great, but they didn't wait for Braun Breaker. We don't know what they're doing with Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
I think I said it last week. I think Braun Breaker is gonna come in on that.
He's going to cost Seth Rollins the title. He's going to, or the match against Gunther. He's going to show up as a hooded man. We're going to get another mask.
I think
he's going to spear. He's going to spear Rollins and be back, and it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker at Backlash.
And what's going to happen? Yep. And what's going to happen is Monday night.
That's what I said last week.
Monday Night Raw, which it shit sucks because I have to work. I got to work Monday night, and I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to have to watch it on replays. Gunther's going to come out and said, "I took care of your problem, Heyman. Now I want Brock," and that's what's going to build the that. But you see, this match between Brock and Obafemi, Matt called that because it was going to be Brock versus LA Knight. And like, no, we should have freaking Brock versus Obafemi. That's the better of the match. And the shit that sucks the most is that they got to stand down in Royal Rumble, but he didn't throw Brock out. That would have been better if he threw Brock out. Meanwhile, you got Brock thrown out by LA Knight and Cody Rhodes with freaking goddamn Jay freaking Yeaton. So it's
all right. So let me throw this out there. Brock versus Obafemi opening Mania Night 2. Is it a waste? Or do you think that's the right call, or do you think it's a waste and that this should be co-main eventing?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. I think it's I think you would like to see it later on in the card, but you know what? It makes sense because it starts off. You start off that night with a chaotic thing that these guys are gonna be fighting in the back, in the stands, in the ring, all over the place. And before the match officially gets started, they're gonna have a disqualification saying, you know what? We can't get these guys under control because the way it's building up, I like the build up because it's making like they're going to be uncontrollable. The shit that's going on.
It's the only match they're building up.
Exactly. And freaking Adam Pearce is going to say, you know what? This thing is going to be scrapped. It's disqualification, both of them. And what's going to happen is this match is going to end in disqualification, which is going to be able to have another match inserted on that night.
Security Cat says it's going to be a 2-minute squash like Cena Lesnar when he came back. But Oba wins. I don't think so. I don't think this match is happening. I'm with Dom. No. I think, dude, I want to see chaos. When they come to the ring, I want to see Brock. Who do you think comes out first? I think Brock comes out first. Well, no, actually, I don't know. I don't know who comes out first.
Listen,
but
I think
Brock comes out first. Oba comes out second. They meet in the ramp. And they're going nuts. They fight everywhere. They break everything. Right. I think Cena tries to break them up. I think Cena eats an F5 or a suplex to kind of nod back to that whole situation.
All security is going to get knocked out. It's going to be chaotic.
Yeah, and I think that it ends in a no contest. Like the match never takes place because Brock said he doesn't want to lose until he retires.
But you know what?
That narrative's been set. And you don't need to. You can have both men walk away from this looking strong like they want to.
The match does start and they can't control it. They get both disqualified, both double count out. What's going to happen is that no one's going to win this match. It's going to be just straight out chaotic, and it's going to be freaking fantastic because this is the best thing that's been happening on Raw. So watching these two guys go together and beating the crap out of one another is going to be freaking goddamn amazing. It's gonna be a short match, double disqualification. Like I said, double disqualification, and with that, they'll be able maybe to squeeze another match on the card, a surprise match, because
this is still gonna take time though. I mean,
we're gonna find out.
I think this is piss poor positioning for this because it's going to be on ESPN, not the app. So this match is completely being used to sell subscriptions to that ESPN app. If you're like me, who has YouTube TV and gets ESPN, but still they want you to pay for the ESPN app, it's for that. But also, like, it should be the co-main event. It's the only thing that people are invested in right now. And it's also like the only storyline they've built correctly. They've built it in the last 4 weeks, and I will eat crow. I was guilty of saying, we should see a pull apart brawl right away. Like these two should be going after each other. It shouldn't be slow playing it where they just come out and Oba gets the better of Brock 2 weeks in a row. It's been fantastic so far. Like keeping them apart has just built my anticipation for this that much more. And I know I cut you off, Stick, so I'm going to put 2 minutes back on the clock just for you again.
Nice.
And mine's going to be quick. Should this be the first match? No, I agree with you. This should be like a double bill or maybe in the middle somewhere. As far as who's going to come out,
main event, man.
As far as who comes out first, man, you know what I do? I have the fight start in fucking Gorilla. before they even come through the
Oh,
curtain.
that would be fantastic.
And then they brawl up all the way up the rampway into the thing. You know, you start it hot. You got to start it hot because these two are supposed to be hot at each other. They're big guys. That, get them going early. Don't even worry about having their music hit. Just get them going.
Yeah, I want the fight to start. I'm with you, Sticks. I wanted the fight to start in Gorilla after John Cena. After they do, the America the Beautiful and the national anthem, and John Cena welcomes everybody to night 2. I wanted to start there. I want Brock to come out. I want to see John Cena eat an F5 or a suplex. I want to see him fight through Gorilla, fight down that long ass ramp, have them tumble down that long ass ramp like you're watching Talladega Nights, the end crash scene of Talladega Nights right there, where they're just flipping and tumbling down that long ass ramp, and it just all hell breaks loose. I don't want this match to start. I want this to be an absolute brawl where all security's eating F5s. They have the locker room people who aren't on Mania coming out eating F5s and just fall from graces and just have them go absolutely nuts on each other. That would be a sight to see. That would be a way to start WrestleMania night 2.
Yeah. You want to build subscriptions? Get, like you say, crazy balls to the wall, get it going, because that's what this match is.
They have to destroy the ring.
Side to be. So
you want to destroy the ring like remember when the what's his face Big Show
fell.
The ring, the whole ring that got destroyed and they all fell apart. Have shit like that happen. Listen,
oh my God,
you gotta put each other through the barriers, go through a wall, in the back, destroy everything. You just do that and disqualification. Freaking double disqualification.
Make it a false count anywhere match.
Nah, I think it's not gonna even happen.
No?
I don't think the match is not gonna happen. The match ain't happening. It's just they're gonna both get disqualified.
Okay.
Well, that falls count anyway because no one can lose. Brock has to go in strong in his retirement match against Gunther, and freaking Obafemi has to go in strong and go in strong when he fights Gunther to take Gunther down. That's what they're building freaking Obafemi to take Gunther down.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right, here we go.
Our last topic tonight on Top Rope Takes is the WWE blocking TNA facing AEW stars. There's been a lot of rumors going around that all of a sudden TNA stars are booked in matches because TNA and AEW allow their talent to take indie bookings in lieu of house shows. So they only do TV tapings so they can take indie bookings in lieu of house shows. You were supposed to have MJF versus Nick Nemeth. You were supposed to have Moose in a couple matches. So and all of a sudden, all these TNA talents are being barred from taking these indie matches and being pulled out of matches against AEW talent. Word on the street or speculation is that WWE has something to do with this. Boys, 2 minutes on the clock. Do we think WWE is the reason that TNA talent is no longer allowed to participate in matches against AEW talent?
I strongly agree with that. Because
100%.
they definitely have TNA. They have that contract with TNA. Fight. They don't want top TNA guys getting hurt against AEW, God forbid, this and that, because you're going against the competition. You don't want AEW to build up momentum fighting the TNA guys. That's the WWE's thing, because the big matches when Joe Hendry was coming back and forth, that was a big pop for WWE. They don't want that big pop for AEW with the stars. Right. And as of reports, Santana, his contract is almost up. I think he might be headed to WWE. So
that's a possibility.
So, like I said, they definitely don't want any type of pop for AEW. So
right. I agree. I would ask, and I thought this already. I thought WWE and TNA were exclusive partners. I didn't think they were, and I know they're indie promotions, but that even having the two,
they have a partnership. But you know what?
I don't know.
The money.
I 100% agree that WWE is probably behind this.
They're the reason. Let's not play it like it's not, but they're the reason that TNA even got a TV deal with AMC. I guarantee you
Absolutely.
that Nick Khan and probably TKO, Ari Emanuel, and all them helped negotiate that TV contract for TNA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
And WWE is in this partnership to poach their talent. Yes, they're going to take Mike Santana in a heartbeat. He's going to be WWE bound.
Yep.
Leon Slater is going to be WWE bound. Like they're just
I
keeping
hope so.
their eye on. They're basically using NXT as or not NXT, but TNA as their developmental brand in a lot of ways, because they're already showing that they have NXT guys over there taking their top belts, and you don't see TNA guys coming over to WWE and taking their belts outside of the Hardys. So it's like, all right, well, they're treating TNA like a developmental brand. So I 100% agree that WWE is behind the blocking and just what they cited for the reason of partnership issues. So it is not surprising that WWE would be behind that at all.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't put it past them.
All right, that's our top rope takes. Now we're going to hand it over to Dirty Dom, who's going to tell us what the dirt sheets are talking about and speculating on this week. Dom, what are the dirt sheets saying?
All right, we're gonna start off with something that happened on Raw this week. Stephanie Vakir, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez. The segment they had where Stephanie Vakir came and
absolutely blasted,
knocked the shit out of her.
I think all kidding aside, I think Liv talking Spanish and saying "puta" and stuff really getting her pissed off, and she's like really freaking getting savage. And I like Stephanie Vakir the Savage, but the unfortunate thing is the mishap of Liv cracking her head against Roxanne Perez's head. Now, rumor has it on the street
and then the TV
that Liv might not be medically clear because she has a concussion protocol. And they say word in the street that she might not be clear for WrestleMania. I
think she'll be clear by then.
I hope so. But word on the street right now, she's still having concussion issues. So, but you know what's crazy? Roxanne Perez got a big hit of it too. But the whole fact is that she's under protocol too. But she's definitely not on the card. But the whole fact is that Liv is in jeopardy. So that's one of the rumors that are floating out of the
I'll interject for you. I think because it was a head-to-head, they put her in the protocol anyways. I mean, it's not like she landed on her head.
Not on her head.
She had a knot in her
and
head.
That big goose egg didn't help her anywhere. Yeah.
Dude, and then she played it off by smacking dead into the TV, which was a really good friggin' play. She sold that really good, but the unfortunate thing is,
I don't know about. I felt like that was a second hit.
But I think so. That's why right now the word in the street that she still hasn't recovered from the concussion protocol. So they're monitoring it that hopefully she's ready.
Well, because I think usually it's like 6 days.
Because certain concussions take a long time to heal. So
I don't even think she got a concussion. Because she's been on, I think she did an interview with Chris Van Vliet. I don't know when that interview took place. I've heard everyone saying that she's not going to miss WrestleMania. I think she's only in concussion protocol just because of the goose egg. I don't think she's been diagnosed with the concussion.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they do it anyways. Head to head, just like they do in football.
Shout out to Stephanie, man. Not only is she sexy as hell and a great champion, but she is a world-class troll. Her posting that picture of the caved-in head baby doll in response to Liv Morgan's photo was absolutely fantastic. Shout out to anybody who's photoshopped JD McDonough's face on that giant goose egg.
That was funny.
Like, the trolls have been out in that Liv Morgan photo, but
yes,
bravo there.
Also, that was that story. Also, the people are talking about the whole thing with Braun Breaker, that he is medically cleared, and not have him face Seth Rollins in WrestleMania. Like I was still thinking the fact that all the mishaps in the Royal the Survivor Series, the match against the championship match against CM Punk, that he kept missing the top rope, falling. hitting his head and stuff like that. We'll still get a Seth Rollins Braun Breaker match. Now, let me ask you this question now.
Backlash.
Since Seth is losing in WrestleMania, do you have him now lose to Braun Breaker after he lost to Gunther? Or if Braun Breaker loses, does that make Braun Breaker lose the momentum that he has of being the future of WWE?
I think the Seth Breaker match is going to carry us to SummerSlam. I think Seth loses to Breaker because of the rest of the vision at Backlash, and Seth is going to be forced to form his own group. And I think that's when you're going to get the call up of Ethan Page and Ricky Saints to be part of Seth's group to combat the vision. But I think that's what they do, because it's going to probably be a year before we see Bronson Reed again. So I think they're gonna wait and do. You might get Braun Breaker taking the belt off Punk at some point before then, so that way Seth and Breaker's for the title at SummerSlam. But I see Seth taking a pinfall loss, taking the loss to Breaker thanks to the rest of the vision at Backlash.
Mm-hmm. All right. I got one more crazy rumor mill that you're going to probably say, please no. So apparently word on the street is that Maxine Dupree is...
Oh, all right. Just stop. Stop right there.
Wait.
I already lost interest.
I know, stop, but I got to tell you that they're going to reform Maximum Male Models with Austin Theory and the Maverick Joey Lawrence. Wait, listen. This is.
Wait. Did you just say the Maverick Joey Lawrence?
Yeah, I call him Joey Lawrence because somebody the other guy.
Whoa.
I know the other guy that I watch. He keeps calling him Joey Lawrence. I just in my head Joey because it's funny. But
Logan Paul.
So
Logan Paul. Okay.
They said with a twist. So
with a twist.
Yeah. So how can you have Maximum Male Models with a twist with Austin Theory and Logan Paul? It could be funny as you're going to make these guys. You can make. I think that Logan Paul could be funny. But the whole Maximum Male Models thing, I'm not sure if
it's sad because they're still doing that gimmick in AEW.
Yeah, I know. Hey, well, listen, Chris Jericho just did the friggin' list in AEW.
Yes, he did.
Yep. So they're gonna do things like that back and forth. But yeah, that is the funny thing that I heard. Rumor has it that they're considering it. So we'll see what happens. Because Maxine Dupree, if you did see that Raw episode, if she lost, Austin Theory was talking to her in the back, and there's always a story when it rolls in the back stage segments when you see stuff like that. So we'll see what.
It's funny you didn't go to adding a female member to the vision. It went right to we're gonna reboot Maximum Male Models.
No, it's gonna be it's gonna be a female version of the vision, but she's gonna have the Maximum Male Models part like the vision. It's gonna be the vision, but Maximum Male Models they're gonna be like the they're gonna try to be like the sexy ones on the friggin', which I don't know. I don't think
the spinoff.
The spinoff. It could be fun. It could be funny or it could be stupid. I don't know.
Yeah, let's not destroy Austin Theory's character any more than it already is, and
exactly
have him be a Maximum Male Model all of a sudden.
Yeah, bad enough they had to put his mom into the fray.
Right. So, and I got one more little segment. So apparently, a fan accused Jay Cargill of taking PEDs, and she fired back at the fan, telling them they do crazy drug testing first of all. But she has a phenomenal physique, and I know that it takes a lot to get that way. And like actors and actresses in Hollywood, to get that fantastic physique to look good in an action flick, they do have a little help in certain things by doctors, under doctor's supervision. So, listen, I know that WWE has, back in the day, everybody was on steroids. Triple H was a big one on steroids back in the day. Big Daddy, the Steiners,
Big Papa Pump.
Yeah. There's
He was
no
saying-
way.
he goes-
Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner wasn't
Yeah,
on tape.
he's saying, I tell you what, I'll go get checked, but Triple H is gonna drive. Come with me. So kind of like kind of that, but you know, her physique is phenomenal. Do you think that she is on anything, or she is very dedicated to training and very?
I mean, I would definitely not be shocked that she takes peptides. But I don't think she's on steroids.
Yeah.
Well, peptides. Well, see, look, like a was it a BPC, a 157? It's called the Wolverine peptide. It actually helps you get stronger. It actually heals your muscles that are sore, little injuries, this and that. And I take it.
You still have knee injuries.
Yeah.
You can't even get off the couch without having muscle spasms.
Dude, I got
banana.
I got hamstring cramps. You know, listen, I woke up, I fell asleep on the couch when I came home earlier from work after I showered and changed. I fell asleep to the back of the couch. I laid in the back of the couch. I had a huge crease in my head. Earlier when I woke up, it looked like I had a big indent in my head. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like it looked crazy. But
Dom gets a cramp in his leg just getting out of bed in the morning.
Oh, dude, when I get up in the morning, you got to see when I get up in the morning, my balance is not there, and I'm walking into walls, knocking things over. My wife wakes up. It's like, what the hell are you doing? But anyway, you know what? Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. you know, peptides are definitely a thing in wrestling because the injuries, the bumps and bruises they take, certain things that under doctor supervision, that is legal. I don't know what's legal. Maybe they changed their ways, but there's some things you scratch your head and say, yeah, I can't see that.
She,
yeah,
I will say is she hasn't, like just started looking like this. She's always looked like this. Is from a wrestling perspective.
Definitely dedicated to training. So
I find
it takes care of her body. That's for sure.
Oh,
yeah. Does she help it a little bit? I'm sure everybody in that position probably does. Like she says, and they've had it for a while. The drug testing over there is probably 100%, especially with them being partnered with ESPN now. I can't imagine they'd try to go away from that. So, yeah. I think it's a BS call out. So.
Well, like I said, people are just jealous. People see something. You know, they sometimes when you work hard for something, people are jealous about that, and they think.
Oh, 100. Yeah,
look,
that happens all the time.
If I see something that I'm like sitting there, you got a phenomenal physique. There's no way you can get certain physiques, and some of the physiques that people look like it's without a little help. But that being said, one last thing, I just want to have a shout out to Jay Uso. You lucky son of a bitch. Him and Jay Parker are a friggin' item.
There you go.
I just like to say, you lucky bastard, you. Snag Jada Parker. You know, so lucky dude, man. It is what it is. But
yeah, hey,
congratulations.
She's a good pickup for the Heat, sir. I agree.
Yep.
I don't know. I still don't know if I believe it just because she minds.
It's a story. They talk about he's divorced. He got separated with his wife now. No, he's done. So he's with her now. So they're together. They're an item.
Yeah, and apparently sales for tickets in WrestleMania are so bad they've got the Miz officiating weddings during WrestleMania.
I heard that today.
Well, listen, what day sold? It was day 2 that sold 40,000 tickets.
Yeah, day 2.
Day 2, yeah, okay, yeah. I just saw a thing for that. Yeah, so day 1. Why don't you go?
Because I'm having surgery.
That's right. Yes, you're having the surgery. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. You're having the surgery. I forgot. I'm sorry.
And I'm not gonna take out a second mortgage on my house to go to WrestleMania because the card is weak as shit.
Yep.
I'll sit at home in the comfort of my house and have a better view on TV, watching everything than.
Yo, you gotta text me. You gotta text me on Monday night when I'm working. Holy shit! Because you know WrestleMania Monday night's always the best right after WrestleMania.
It wasn't last year. It was pretty weak.
Yeah, it wasn't. But actually, I think SmackDown was better.
I remember sending you a message last year saying for the Raw after Mania, that sucked.
No, but you told me, wasn't that when Seth got kicked out of the division?
No.
No.
Raw after Mania last year was not when Seth got taken out of the division.
That was a Monday Night Raw. Okay.
It wasn't Monday Night Raw that happened, yes, but that was right before Royal Rumble.
Well, it was after he had the fight with Cody. They found out his shoulder was blown. Yeah.
It was after a Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah. Like Saturday Night Main Event.
No, it wasn't.
That's Square Garden in July. I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll go to that one because I didn't go to wrestle in Madison Square Garden Raw that happened recently. So yeah, so that's the dirt sheet. There's nothing really else. Other stuff that we've seen that was pretty good.
All right, now we move into the 3 count. The 3 count is our off the mat review of the shows. Instead of going segment by segment like we were doing, we're doing the 3 count where we're doing the best moment of each show, the worst moment of each show, and what were they thinking. And we're going to, of course, start off with last Friday night's SmackDown. Sticks, I'll hand it off to you. Give me the best moment, worst moment, and what were they thinking moment of the night for SmackDown.
For best moment on for SmackDown, I'll go with what will I go with? I'll go with the jelly roll. I mean, if I'm going to pick something out of that, it's gonna be that him and the Kit Wilson match. I'm glad it's over. They did it. They didn't do it at WrestleMania, so there's that. Worst moment and what were they thinking are the same thing. It's that McAfee debacle.
Yeah, I
didn't need it. I'm
gonna agree with you, except for me, the best moment for me was the Cody Rhodes shoot promo that he came out and did.
Yeah.
The worst moment and what were they thinking for me is the inclusion of Pat McAfee into all this. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're right. I got the same thing. The promo from Cody coming out shooting from the heart, and then yes, the Randy Orton thing with Pat McAfee. That's basically mine. The same thing too. What's funny when Pat McAfee came out, I was like this. I was like kind of like confused. I was like, and then when he kicked Cody Rhodes in his nads, and I'm like, what?
Don messaged the group chat and he was like, fucking Pat McAfee.
Yeah, you say fucking Pat. What happened to Pat McAfee?
Yeah. It does not make sense on any level. Storyline. I don't care I don't care what it is. It just doesn't make sense.
I swear to God, I felt like the commercial for the Snickers pecan when the girl goes, all right, get ready to spill the tea. She pours the tea. He goes, have a Snickers. Oh, pecan. That's what I felt like when Pat McAfee came out. I was like confused a little bit. Like, what the hell?
Yep.
All right. I think that's it. Now we're going to move on to Monday Night Raw. Dom, best moment, worst moment, and what were they thinking?
Best moment was CM Punk coming out in the beginning. Coming out in the beginning and shooting that damn pipe bomb promo, which was freaking awesome.
Yep.
That happening, and then the worst moment, I gotta say, I definitely the whole thing with Gunther, with Seth, kind of like really, I understand where they're going. Like I said, after Gunther came, attacked Seth Rollins again. Trying to fight him again. The week before when he put him out, I'm like, because I understand what they're doing, but at the same time, you want a story that builds substance. And everybody's figuring out what the hell, where's the story behind it, this and that. And they push it out there. Oh, is he working in cahoots? Did he get paid? Is it paid assassin? I would have rather have him becoming part of the vision. But that's not happening. Because he's his own thing. I think that was one of the worst thing. Actually, you know what? Let me change that. Jay Cargill wearing that damn outfit. The heart, the lips, that red heart outfit she had on, beating up Rhea Ripley. And when Io Sky came out to help, I kind of like, I don't know. They're pushing Jay Cargill. So they're trying to make Jay Cargill like she was in AEW. Which she wasn't a bad character. It wasn't a bad character in AEW. She did a pretty good job in AEW. But kind of rushing through things. And like I said, all you have is the Rhea Ripley thing. And kind of like, I'm not interested in that fight. See what happens.
Why do I feel like Me Chin and BFAB are going to get involved in the Mania match?
Yeah.
And Ripley's going to lose, and we're going to get Bianca Belair returning on the Monday after Raw, and we're going to get Jay Cargill, Mia Chin, and BFAB versus Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky at Backlash. That's like what I'm feeling is because I think horizon.
Oh, that's what I heard, that she's rehabbing, and I heard that the whole finger thing is getting better, so she might be on the horizon coming back. So you're right. I was thinking the same thing. The Monday night after WrestleMania, I always said that. You know, another thing too, with the whole WrestleMania thing. Who's to say Io Sky don't turn heel against Rhea Ripley, and you finally get the Rhea Ripley fighting Io Sky because she never beat her in a match? That'd be something, because everybody thinking that Rhea Ripley's going to turn bad. Io Sky.
I would think you would save that for SummerSlam, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know, but who knows? I think she's going to get back with the Kabuki War. She's going to wind up get back with the Kabuki Warriors again, I think.
Because remember, we got to fill a 2-night SummerSlam now.
Yeah. So
crazy.
For me, best moment of the night clearly was the opening to Raw with CM Punk sitting there cross-legged in the middle of the ring, very reminiscent of his original Pike Bomb promo, and how he completely addressed the situation with TKO, the ticket sales, Pat McAfee. He just kind of went scorched earth on everybody, full on. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Triple H gave him marching orders to go out there and, drop a pipe bomb. Because if you need a pipe bomb promo to be dropped and someone who is completely untouchable to do it, CM Punk is your guy.
Yep.
And that's what they did. I don't really know what my worst moment of the night would be for Raw, because it's kind of a pretty okay show. I think really it was the worst one for me. It's just the fact that the JD McDonough Finn Balor match never even got started.
Yeah.
And maybe the addition of Rey Mysterio in the ladder match. Let's be honest, Javon Evans is going to steal that match, I think.
He should win. He should win.
I think we're going to get a crazy spot, kind of reminiscent of the Edge spearing Jeff Hardy off when he's holding the belt and he's dangling in the air and Edge spearing him like that. I think we're going to get some crazy spot like that with Javon Evans. But for me, what were they thinking moment of the night was they didn't leave enough time for the Brock Lesnar Obafemi contract signing.
Yeah, but
they was literally went off the air in the middle of a pull-apart brawl.
I know.
I thought that was the whole reason of being on Netflix, is that if they needed to extend, Netflix would allow them to extend. And we got the credits, and before we got Oba was still marching to the ring when
the credits
rolled on Raw on Monday night. So it was like, what are you thinking? That's what everyone was sitting through, waiting to see this pull-apart brawl, and you cut it off.
What did Brock Lesnar throw in the ring besides the chair? It was like some kind of small orange thing, and it hit fucking Obafemi right in the head. It was like something. There was like an object he picked up and he threw it.
The only thing I saw hit Obafemi was he threw a computer chair at him, and Femi freaking tanked it.
No, I know he did that, but there was something else he threw in the ring when he fell down.
When he was on the ground.
Yeah, at the end when it went off. That was crazy. That was off hit. There's your WrestleMania. Yeah. That's your fight right there. That's the.
It was a run by fruiting.
But that's cool. Yeah, Obafemi's going to be marching up the ring, and that's what Brock Lesnar's going to run right after him and get him, and that's what's going to happen. They're not going to make it to the ring. Right.
I'll go quick. Best moment, the punk pipe bomb. For my worst moment is the AJ Lee Becky Lynch interview. I thought it was stupid. We don't want it anyway. Why are we getting?
Yeah, that interview. Oh yeah,
interview.
I forgot about the interview. The interview.
The
really
interview was just. It was hard to. It was so hard to watch. I turned it off.
You know what?
You're
I
gonna
really
go
don't
home
care.
and ask your daughter. who
AJ
her
Lee,
favorite
for some
wrestler
reason,
is.
she bugs me the way she talks sometimes. Like the way she has like her melancholy, like the way she talks, and like she's very calm in the way she is, and it's like the head movement, and she like it's like, and then Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch, she just annoys me. I don't know. You know, I used to like Becky Lynch a lot, this and that, but her heel is really the heel thing is not really
when she's on, she's good. You know what I mean? When she's working the ring, she's good. It's been hard to watch with her going back and forth with AJ Lee because it's the same thing. You know, you're recooking the same hash. You know.
Yeah.
So, for my what were they thinking? I'm still. I'll say the whole induction or inclusion of ISHO Speed into the whole match. I mean, why don't we have a celebrity on the Uso side? Why is it just ISHO Speed? It's the whole celebrity thing is getting overworked in the last couple of years.
But it's ISHO Speed.
You know, ISHO Speed.
Who cares?
You know what's crazy is that even ISHO Speed makes more sense in the Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes angle than Pat McAfee, because at least ISHO Speed and Randy Orton have history because Randy Orton was training ISHO Speed for his TV show. So
true.
You could even had ISHO Speed trying to tell Randy that he needs to get back to being, class Randy, not whatever he is now.
Yeah. So that's it for me.
Did either of you catch NXT?
Yeah, I caught a little bit of it, and I actually caught the best moment, which I actually liked. And Matt, if you know what I like about wrestling, they had a nice little incident that happened in NXT, which was really cool, that I enjoyed. I love when bad guys fight bad guys. And you know what I'm aiming at? The freaking Tony D'Angelo, Ethan Page,
the 8-man tag match.
Yep, and Ricky Saints and freaking Joe Hendry in the ring talking about the thing. All of a sudden, Dark State comes in and fights everybody, and I was like, yes, that was my highlight of NXT, and the ending was I enjoyed too with the ending, the 6-man tag team, this and that, because it's going to get to a point where my boy Ethan Page, he already got the title shot. The first one, we got the title shot against Tony D'Angelo, which I like. And don't get me wrong, you know what? I thought that Sol Ruca was done with Zarya. I guess not. They definitely gonna back to the well with that.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have one more match at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah. Yep. But I actually, like I said, I seen a couple of little drips and drabs of that, But other than that, that was my highlight of NXT.
Yeah, my best moment of the night for NXT was definitely that 8-man tag match. I'm a big fan of Tony D'Angelo being the champion. I'm intrigued by that. My worst moment of the night, of course, is my girl Sol Ruca losing. And my kind of like, what were they thinking of the night is, why do we need a 2-week long NXT revenge event? Like, yeah, we're getting some good matches out of it, but I don't think we need to announce a 2-week NXT event. Like, what do you think you are, WrestleMania here, where you need to book 2 nights? Nah, we don't need that. That's my what are they thinking? I feel like there's more interesting stuff they could do than that. But
yeah, it wouldn't be the first time they've done that, because they did that in February, or maybe it was December, for that the Gold for Gold thing with TNA. For 2 weeks they did the belt for belt stuff. So
all right, go ahead, Sticks.
Yeah, I'll go. So for the best moment, the whole Tony D'Angelo stuff, but you're going to find out that this is also in my what were they thinking, because the inclusion of Dark State, all of a sudden Dark State is jumping through the rings again. I hate Dark State. I think they're stupid. I think
they're going to implode. I think it's going to start to implode because you see the cracks. You see the cracks that are happening. So kind of I think this is going to be like the last big push of Dark State, and they're going to break up.
They were. It was interesting in the beginning because when we were talking about them, and like you, Dom, we all thought that Trick Williams was going to be the head of Dark State, which they should have went with. But the Dark State's just 3 punk kids just running around beating people up.
Do you even remember what Dark State's reasoning for all this was?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know if they have it. Do they have a reason?
They did. I don't remember what it was. I haven't cared.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, it's a couple kids who know how to turn off the lights and jump people in the dark. That's all it is.
In their
cosplay. Yeah, there's something is killing the children masks.
Right. Yeah. But
so, I really don't have a worse moment. I mean, I guess that would kind of be it as well. But I'm looking here at my notes. Where is it here?
Sticks took notes because he's a professional.
The Miles Bourne match was all right. I thought it should have went the other way though. I don't think we need him.
Oh, I got some latest rumor to jump on the webs.
Hot off the rumor hill.
Hot off the rumor hill. Interest levels of Danhausen versus Miz and Kid Williams being last minute addition to WrestleMania 42 card.
Yeah,
I think Danhausen should be on there regardless. Yeah, he's the biggest thing going in WWE right now.
I'm telling you, he should have hosted. Hosted.
I like that idea. I like your idea, having him host WrestleMania instead of Cena.
Because he wants Sabrina Carpenter to come out, so I wonder if Sabrina Carpenter is going to show up at WrestleMania.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll end up being Topanga.
Topanga. Hey, she's a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah, I know she is.
What about AEW Dynamite? Either you watch AEW Dynamite?
I just saw the list. That was it.
Worst TV. I mean, boring. Should have been on the card. They literally only had 4 matches. Their match card was Willow Nightingale versus Queen Amida for the TBS Championship. They had Andrade versus Mark Davis, and Takeshita. I can't ever say that. Versus Bandito, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And then they had the Tommaso Ciampa won the number 1 contender spot for the Casino Battle Royale.
Of course he did.
And then you have Will Ospreay. They had like a 6-man tag with Will Ospreay, Cullen Newman versus and United Empire versus the Death Riders, with United Empire winning. So then, like, for me, the best moment of the night was probably the MJF Kenny Omega promo, even though Kenny Omega like really needs to get on his promo work. Yeah. The lack of interesting matches are kind of the worst moment for me. And what were they thinking is I don't understand why they just have Jericho come back like that and just automatically throw him in a feud with Ricochet that revolved around Ricochet being bald. Yes, we got the list reference, but no new gimmick for Jericho, and we're really literally getting a feud with Ricochet revolving around the fact that Ricochet is bald.
Yeah, well, that's a thing. So they bring that in there. Oh yeah, I do have one piece of AEW news. I don't know if it was brought up that Tony Storm is definitely out indefinitely for the rest of 2026. They were saying either it was a rumor about personal life or she's pregnant. So that was when she went out after that match he had, the last match he a couple months. Well, about like a month. Was it a month ago? 2 months ago? She had that match.
Well, her husband's in AEW too. I didn't know her husband was Juice Robinson.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So apparently that she possibly that she might be pregnant or other personal things, but that's the reasoning behind that she's going to be out for the rest of 2026.
But this was
I
a
guess
build. This was a go home match for their pay per view on Sunday, and I don't feel like they did a very good job selling me to spend $50 on this pay per view.
No. That's the highlights.
Yep, I'll stream the Kenny Omega MJF match some other way. I'm not paying for it.
Right.
But all right,
I think $50 for a pay per view, anyways, nowadays is kind of high.
Dude, what are we paying? All the damn freaking goddamn apps. It's just nuts. Between
Sling and I say that because most wrestling, I mean, like you can get TNA for $10.
Yeah.
WWE is free for the most part.
Well, not really. It's technically $29.99.
It's $29.95. Like I said, for the most part, $50. What are you getting? I mean, is the card really worth $50? I think we talked about this the last time they had it's one, and it wasn't worth the $50. Maybe 20. You get more people to buy it if it was 20. Oh, $20. That's a pack of cigarettes nowadays. If you're a smoker.
So. All right, Sticks, were you able to get your slides up or?
No, I wasn't able to. One of them was if you want, you can put up my. Do you have my little icon?
No, I don't, because I didn't know if you were gonna have a segment. So
okay,
I didn't
that's fine.
In there.
That's fine. So I had a quick hot and cold this week. As far as what was hot, that I thought in professional wrestling was the whole stuff going on with TNA, AEW, and the possibility of WWE being behind them pulling their talent. I thought it was kind of hot because
pulling their puds.
Pulling out, not very manly there, WWE.
You don't want to.
I think that's gonna spark a lot of stuff going forward as far as how indie promotions handle other talent from other promotions, and I think you might see some changes going on in that area. As far as what I thought was kind of going cold in wrestling, and I wanted your guys' input on this because this is kind of something that hey there I am. This is something I've been noticing, right? Wrestling, like wrestling talent promoting products. So this week they announced that Cody Rhodes was going to be the new spokesman for the Drumstick ice cream bars. They had his own ice cream bar, the red, white, and blueberry centered ice cream cone, where previously it was John Cena had been their promoter. I went through and to look at see who was promoting what, and there wasn't a whole heck of a lot when it comes to people, the talent actually being part of the promotion. Like they had a lot of deals with products, but not as far as using their talent to promote the item. Like now you see, like, what, I don't know if it's H&R Block or Intuit or whatever it is. They get Penta and Stephanie Vaquer and LA Knight toting to get your taxes done this last month and things like that. I think that's kind of down. I don't think a lot of places are really asking the WWE or TKO to, hey, we'd like X wrestler to promote X product anymore. This just doesn't seem to be happening anymore. I thought we used to get that a lot, especially like the aggression era. Aggression era had a lot of those guys going in and doing promotions for items. We just don't see that anymore. And having that come across with Cody Rhodes being a promotion for that, I thought it sparked me to kind of look into it. It's just not as hot anymore as it used to be to have these guys go in and promote other people's products. So that was my hot and cold for the week.
Other than Slim Jim, they sure do push the hell out of Slim Jim and Cricket Wireless.
Yeah. They need something else besides that Jey Uso Cricket Wireless Cricket Wireless ad. I'm getting sick of that one.
Hey Jey Uso, it's just me, Oos.
Yeah, talking to the AI green blob.
You look like the mucus guy from the mucus. You have the mucus.
He got cleaned up, and he started going to Cricket Wireless for a job. Yeah.
All right, it's that time of our show that we like to call the Kick Out. Open forum for you guys to get your thoughts and opinions on one last thing before we call it a night and get out of here. Is there anything else you guys want to shoot on tonight before we call it a night?
We can go back to the TKO and the creative process of what's going on, and
this is Dom with that.
There he is, beating that dead horse.
Dom is beating a dead horse.
No, I'm just saying. Look, you know how I feel about corporations. Yeah, even though I work for one, majority of us do. I hate corporations. I think corporations, they freaking take the life out of you. They don't give a shit. They'll replace you in a heartbeat. You die tomorrow. They don't give two shits. They don't want to pay. They'd rather freaking beat around the bush, get robots to fucking replace human beings. If they can get them to do something. But I'm just saying the whole fact is with corporations, they ruin a lot of things that were great.
Potentially, yeah.
WWE, the product was a fantastic family-oriented TV show. Episodic because it is episodic. Reality TV, if you really want to put reality TV, it is, with so that.
Really, yeah.
We all shitted on Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon did this.
Whoa, no, Vince McMahon was.
Some people did it
people.
literally. Some people did it literally.
He literally shit on other people.
Yeah, he would. But the whole fact is that his decisions of what he did. He did produce a lot of
choice of words there, Dom.
Yeah, I know. You're right. Okay, let me rephrase that. Let's back it up. My thing is that for all this stuff that Vince did for the shows, the last minute things, the last minute, we talk about the fact that, well, listen, to be honest, 2023. How long has Vince been out?
I want to say
end of
a couple of years. 22, yeah, 20.
So apparently you've seen the emails, right? That him and Triple H had. So he was actually still taking directions for creative back in 2023, even though Triple H was head of creative, and he was still heavily involved in 2023.
Right, but remember, he was supposed to at one point come back, and then they
because
told him not to come back.
Controversy. That's what I'm saying. That that's why I said that the rumor has it that he was the other guy on the phone, the other side of the phone with Randy Orton. That they were going to bring back Vince, into the fold.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. That's why I say Shane. You got to bring Shane in, have Shane be the mastermind about a lot of things, But anyway, that being said, I'm just saying the fact is that. You see, The Rock was a wrestler. Oh, I'm never leaving. He used to always say, "Oh, you're leaving for Hollywood, this and that." I'm never leaving. He went to Hollywood.
He left.
And then he left, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to come back, this and that." But now he's with the corporation side.
He comes back for
it's the money, and like who do you blame? Everybody wants money. You're going to make money. The fact is that
Got to back it up, though.
It's sad that you have corporate fighting with creative, and they're just making their own thing as it goes. Oh, this looks good. Let's put it in here. This looks good. Let's put that there. And then all the rumors of Saudi Arabia buying WWE, from TKO. I actually think that a lot of this is hurting TKO's, their selling point. The product is still good, but TKO meddling in a lot of things is really making the product. Raising those ticket prices, raising, phasing families out. The whole PG thing. You can make it edgier. You're on Netflix. You're on Netflix for a reason. Netflix is a channel where you can have the cursing. You can say things. You can do things. A little bit more edgier than certain times. Like I said, the first hour being, it's 2 hours. First hour being a little bit more PG-ish, and then after that, PG-13, you're rated R. You could have the second half, the more edgiest stuff.
Yeah.
I look at the fact that they have a product that there is a gold mine there of what they can do. And it's like with everything, TV, movies, you got to give a little bit for the people that brought that stuff up, that made it for where it is. And also, yes, you have to be creative to bring in new people. Same thing with movies and this and that. Me and Matt were talking about, stuff in the beginning, and the thing about, you have to be able to reel in the new fans, because a product is not going to last if you don't bring new people in. And wrestling was at a peak to a point where it's like, oh shit, this is awesome. And now it's down, and we're all like saying, oh man, this is that. We're all aggravated because the creative division. And plus, people getting hurt didn't help either, because a lot of people got hurt. So storylines had to be changed. You have to be able to be creative enough to pivot a storyline that you have invested in and pivot it to a point where it makes sense, but also at the same time, when that person comes back, to pivot it back to the point where you are, but it not taking away from the initial story.
A lot of times what happens though is you come up with a storyline, right? But you also have an alternate storyline in case you have a backup plan.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You gotta have a backup plan.
You need a backup plan.
No backup plan, you're just gonna
is that gonna make
throw
any
him
sense?
in. Yeah.
And that's why you have to have a backup plan when you have a certain investing in a story. The whole celebrity angle. The whole celebrity angle by putting inserting all these celebrities in WrestleMania. Yes, it's to gain the celebrity fan that's not a big wrestling fan will come in to see, because you're a celebrity. Look, they're still talking about that Tom Brady is going to be at WrestleMania, because there's been a lot of words with Logan Paul, Tom Brady, and all that stuff like that going back and forth. So you'll have a Tom Brady friggin' appearance at WrestleMania. And you bring that football. Look, think about it. It makes sense because most of the wrestlers are football players, ex-football players. If you really think about
don't you think though? Don't you think they're mistaking Tom Brady for Gronk? Like Gronk's going to be there. He's got something going on.
Well, Gronk's got a bash. I still think that Gronk still might become a wrestler, because the rumors have it he was going to wrestle. I still think that he might.
I don't think he needs to go in. I think he's got plenty of money for.
I don't get plenty of money. It's not even about the money anymore. It's about the fact that it's something if you enjoy it.
If you're going to go to do it to have some fun, I guess. But
to being said, the whole thing with TKO, they're meddling in a lot of things, and that's what they want. They want to make money. It's all about money with them. They don't care about what we think, but they do sit here and watch our, not specifically us, but the podcast, figuring atmosphere, figuring universe out there,
right?
See what people are talking about, what they could be better. And like I said, I swear, I think that some of the things that we've spoken about in our show, they've gotten the idea, because we have said things that other shows have not said.
I was just going to say, there's a lot of things we go through and say that I have never heard anyone else say.
And then you watch wrestling, and I was like, oh shit, we said that. Mm-hmm. And it's been a proven fact. But look, WrestleMania is the Super Bowl the pinnacle of wrestling, what the whole year leads to, and you wanted a spectacular. 2 nights kind of ruined it, because if you have the one night show, you squeeze in the fights in one night, and you have a better chance of having a better storyline with the one night than having the 2 nights. But of course, corporate greed, you want to have 2 shows for these big shows, and that's the thing when you get too big. But I'm just hoping that come WrestleMania, after WrestleMania, we'll see a significant change in a lot of things. We'll see more of what we want as fans, that could actually we can make a statement and see more of the matches we want to see, the storylines that we like to see, because it's getting to a point where people are getting fed up. They don't want to deal with, the things anymore. The show, like a lot of people checked out.
Yeah, they did.
Because it's boring. It's boring. The fights aren't. But also at the same time, we're in a different era now. There's got to be new rivalries, new fights, new things. But at least make a good story. And if what we were talking about earlier about TKO with WWE, the perfect storyline where you could have Team TKO and Team WWE fight in Survivor Series, like the old corporation, like rehash the corporation storyline from the old Attitude Era type of thing, and bring it into modern times. And if you do it right, you can have a pretty decent storyline, the boiling point, because and it could become very interesting if they do it right. And it doesn't have to end at Survivor Series. You could have it still going on, but you need the proper ingredients, the proper players, and it has to be done right. And like I said, if creative is thinking anything like that, that could be the perfect story that could happen for the next year or two if they do it right.
All right. So I'll kind of piggyback off of that a little bit, and because I'm going to pose the question to you guys. I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, a report came out that said when WWE was shopping around to sell the company,
okay,
there was a report that said Tony Khan had put in a bid on WWE.
Okay.
Do you think that we're in a better spot having TKO, or do you think had Tony Khan taken over the company, do you think it would be better off for the product?
Well, if that was one of the big stories put in there that AEW and Tony Khan was thinking about buying WWE,
right?
It was never going to happen. Tony Khan didn't have the capital to do it, and they would have never.
Yeah, but Daddy did. Daddy did. If he wanted,
yeah,
if
but
he really
it was
to.
more of like just a joke.
Do you know? Okay,
insert like they would. He never would have been able to afford WWE.
If the possibility, let me tell you something. I'll give you one better. AEW. If AEW had the popularity that WWE has, you don't think that they'll raise ticket prices to a certain point? Like you got to look at this one. No. Wait, listen to me out. You don't think that the times that we're living in and the way things are going, that they would raise ticket prices that may not be what WWE has, but rate them significantly to a point where it would phase out some families because of the money that you're popular up there on the tier.
Prices would definitely go up, but I don't think it would still phase out families. The cost of living in today's society as opposed to even 5 to 10 years ago, way different, right? Gas prices are up. Grocery prices are up. And so the idea of prices going up isn't out of the realm of something that's going to happen. But, you still have families that go out and do things, baseball, hockey, football games, they're still weighing in and paying $300 to $400 for a family of 4 to go to something like this. Right. wrestling's always been kind of the cheap sport, right? So even if you're going up to like I think right now, if you're going to like a house show, they're like $60 a ticket. That's not horrible, but it's not great either. I don't think these house shows have really
house shows they
phased out
house shows.
But it's the ones that are the televised ones that are a little more. You want to go to a Raw, it's like $100 a ticket, or around $80, and then taxes, $100 a ticket. So I don't think they would have raised it like TKO has, but yeah, they would have. They definitely would have raised prices. You got to. I mean, you got to keep solvent as far as your product goes. You can't be giving away everything.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Like I said, if AEW bought it, like I said, it would never happen. But if it did happen, you know what?
I guess my thought would be, my thought would be that the creative might be better because of. It seems like I don't know.
Have you seen AEW Have you seen the storylines in AEW?
Well, there's not that many, but
not good.
I know.
Not good at all either. I think it's just across the board. I think what's happening now is that in wrestling, they're just putting matches together, fight people, see it, they get kids. The kids get excited. They're like real life superheroes. They watch it. Boom, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no thought behind it. But us being wrestling fans and being around for a long time, watching these things manifest into what they are.
We expect the storyline.
Yes,
we expect the story.
You expect the long-term storyline, the story that leads it up to the pay-per-view and like every time you watch the pay-per-view, they were legitimate friggin' fight. Most of the fights were championship fights, and then you had maybe one or two non-title matches that were just fights for respect and stuff like that. You don't get that anymore. It just
right.
You get the crap, and they leave fucking champions out of a big pay-per-views, which makes no sense. So, but being said,
listen. You get only in certain pay-per-views, not WrestleMania because it's a 2-night thing, but a lot of these PLEs you only have a certain amount of slots. Sometimes you have to kind of leave somebody out, and
so
you save it for the next one.
So you have Jelly Roll versus Kit Williams and
what are you
I'm just saying I know they phased it out, but I'm just saying you have that, but you take away a spot for Julia, Intercontinental Championship, a five-woman freaking melee to win the belt, and guess what? Katana James freaking screws Julia.
Dude, you really need to work on pronouncing people's names. Kiana James.
Katana.
Let me ask you though. I want to ask you something.
But you know what I mean. I'm on the right track. It's my pronunciation of things sometimes are wrong. I know it is. Let me ask you something, because this is not the first time you've mentioned that match. Do you want Julia in WrestleMania because she's a good bill for WrestleMania, or you just want her in there because she's holding a belt? If you only want her in there because she's only holding a belt, that might not be the right way to go. I think that the WWE is holding her back for what she is. If you see what she used to, the fights that you
holding her back from what? Wait, hold on. We've been talking for months that they don't have anybody to back up.
No, I'm just
the women's division.
I know, but the whole fact is that the matches she had before she came to WWE, they were friggin' spectacular. I know they don't have the women, but the whole fact is that let her cook. Give her a great.
You need to give her matches to let her cook.
That's what I'm just saying. But the whole fact is, they made her lose the belt. She lost the belt. She lost it. She had the belt. She lost it. Then she won it back. And like I said, you got to give her a chance to cook. And having a match, you take away a wrestling match because you put celebrities in there, this and that. All right, fine. You know what? But that being said,
I'm not disagreeing that she should have a match. I'm just saying, if you're only going to give her a match because she happens to be holding the belt, that's not the right way to go. Sometimes,
but she should be in. Look, WrestleMania is all champions on deck. That's WrestleMania. It's not you have to fight to get a spot. All champions. Go back to WrestleMania friggin' past. All champions fought in WrestleMania. You had the tag teams, the championship match, the Intercontinental Championship. You all friggin' champions, and
but there weren't as many pay-per-view PLEs
but the whole fact
as there are today. That's why I'm saying sometimes you have to save one for another.
Boys, I think you've cooked this topic, man. Yeah, I don't know how much more you guys can weigh in on this.
You know what? That being said,
now we're getting to the point where you're like arguing the same point over and over again. So I think that's kind of cooked.
Okay.
I mean,
but I'm just saying the corporation thing. They have to let creative take over and do what they do best. They should just be in the back, sit there, and let creative take their thing. But
when the people with the money start interjecting their stuff,
and then you got problems.
And we get a Pat McAfee kicking Cody Rhodes in the balls again.
In the nets.
There you go. And we'll call it that.
Yeah, nets.
But all right, sound off in the comment section below. Let us know what you think WWE should do to fix the Pat McAfee, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes match for Mania, or can it even be fixed? We want to know what you think in your comments below, because this is a community. We want to start a conversation, so give us your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Make sure that like and subscribe button too. I want to shoot for 100 likes because it goes a long way in the algorithm to show them that you love professional wrestling content, and not only professional wrestling content, but specifically the takes you get right here on Off the Mat, as we are quickly becoming your new wrestling obsession. If you want more from Styx, you can check him out every Tuesday night over on his channel for his Doctor Who Rewind, and every Friday night on Renovision. You can check him out and Dom on The Qualified. You can check me and Styx out every Saturday night on Saturday Night Special. You can check out Dom over on our sister channel Renovision for the Star Wars show as well. And of course, you can check out all three of us, the team of teams, the triple threat challenge right here every Thursday night on Off the Mat. Next week is a special show. You don't want to miss it. We're going to be going over our WrestleMania match cards and giving our WrestleMania predictions. It's always a great show. It's always a star-studded affair. Hopefully we'll have some special guests to throw in their picks in the hat as well. So that should be a great time nonetheless. Make sure to check out Dom and Styx on social media as well on the gram. You can find us all on all social media platforms. Great conversation tonight, boys. Another great show in the books.
Love
Dom, take us out with some words of wisdom, my friend.
I'm just going to put it this way. It doesn't take a lot to be nice. Be a good person.
And I think that's echoes very deep across a lot of platforms this week. So on that note, have a great week, everybody. Enjoy SmackDown tomorrow night. We'll see you right back here next week on a brand new episode of Off the Mat with our WrestleMania 42 predictions. So long, everybody.
In the ring, the lights go down. Roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found.